Hey
Hello.
man, what's up?
Just finished a matchup.
Sweet. Did you win?
No, I lost
Oh, that sucks.
against
That sucks.
Protoss.
Pro Simba, man.
I hate those bitches.
Hold on, let me find your email really quickly. Okay. So you wrote, hey, I am currently previously silver, and currently you're playing unranked. Is that still true? I mean, it was about 2 weeks ago
No,
when you
I'm
sent.
still silver now.
Okay.
Again.
Are you playing ranked again, though?
Today I've just been playing unranked due to hangover. So
It's a Sunday. It's acceptable.
yeah, I know.
So previously we were silver as I took short breaks, so right now I'm quite the newbie. No man, you probably aren't. Though I have some form of clue of what I'm doing, blah blah blah, and wouldn't mind coaching less. Okay, sweet. All the way from Norway, sweet. Okay, cool. So usually I end up coaching people for about an hour, and in that hour, most of the time we get to call for about one matchup, kind of depending on exactly how things go. Sometimes, you know, we manage to cover more than just one matchup. Considering it's Silver League, we might, because there's a couple of builds you can execute in every single matchup, and that is most of the time going to be most efficient below gold. So to get a good idea about that, to know exactly how much we will be able to get done, it's probably going to be best to just play an example game.
Okay.
And in that first game, usually what's easiest is if I just don't say anything. I just sort of sit there, and I just sort of have a look at your gameplay and make a couple of notes and whatnot.
Okay.
And most of the time after that, we can jump in the replay, talk about the differences, and sometimes need to show you a couple of things. But oftentimes that is the best way I found so far for people to improve.
Sounds fair.
Cool. So could you add me in game? Do you have do you have me added by any chance or?
No, I don't.
Mm-mm-mm. Cool. Could you join group LowkoTV? It's probably the easiest.
Fine. Join. I should be named Fosny there.
Okay, I saw that name pop up, but I wasn't completely sure it was you. I've never actually seen that portrait.
Oh.
I'm gonna rock that portrait too. Hold on, where is it? Can I even? Or is it like a Terran portrait?
No, it is a Zerg portrait.
Oh, sweet, I do have it. I wasn't even aware. Cool. We're brothers now. Sweet. Okay. So, first off, what I'm gonna do is just have a look at your statistics. Like, you know, you can check out your statistics and see how much your wins and losses are.
Yeah.
Let's actually have a look. Okay, so you have been playing a couple of games today. And actually quite a lot in the last few weeks, so that's cool.
Yeah, I've been busy past week or so, so I haven't played much.
No, that's fine, dude. No worries. Okay. So currently the statistics, you got 25% against Protoss, 60% versus Terran, and 25% versus Zerg. Now, obviously, that's only a couple of games. So let's have a look at your all. Actually, your Zerg versus Terran is surprisingly sick. 67% overall, actually. Wait, is this a new account?
No, it's the same account.
Oh, it just doesn't count unranked, I suppose. Wait. No, it doesn't count unranked, so it's hard to say. Do you have like one matchup you feel like you're struggling in the most, or?
Uh, Usually against Protoss, not surprisingly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sweet.
But Terrans can be a pain in the arse as well.
Yeah, I know. But you actually have a really, really nice win-loss versus Terran. Now there's not that many, games played, so it's hard to say, you know, like the sample group isn't that big, but your Zerg versus Terran seem to be very, very high. So let's just try it out versus a Protoss player then, and we can go from there. So currently ranked 36 silver, sweet, and some bonus pool left. Okay, cool. So we're actually gonna need someone to play against. Do you have like a practice partner online, or someone you like to play against by any chance, or would you rather just want me to pick someone else?
Yeah, just pick someone. I don't
Okay,
know
cool.
right now.
Yeah, so if anyone from the chat wants to play, if you're a silver level Protoss player, please join group LowkoTV. That is LOWKOTV. On the European server, there's a group, not a chat channel. So if you would be so kind to join, that'd be awesome, and let me know right here that you're willing to help us out. Do you have any preferred matches or maps that you want to play on?
I kind of like Overgrowth. It's kind of nice.
Okay, cool. Platinum is a bit high, dude.
I'd rather pass.
Yeah. The difference between silver and platinum is quite high. Okay, high silver toss. We can go with that. We could go with that. Sweet. So what do you usually do versus Protoss? Do you have like one given go-to strategy, or do you do a couple of different things?
I usually just try to go roaches.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go starship thingy, and go over to roach hydra.
Okay.
And I've been trying out a little bit of mutas as well,
Okay.
but haven't gotten it to work yet.
That's cool. That's cool. I definitely think roaches are gonna be the best choice most of the time, because they're just very easy to max out on, and you don't really need to micro them as much as, for example, like mutalisks. But we can have a look. So in this game, just try your, just try and play a normal game, and feel free to, by the way, whenever I talk too much, to just shut me up, because sometimes I do tend to talk a little bit too much. Should be good. Okay, he's a gold Zerg, but silver toss. So his Zerg or his Protoss for Zerg is probably pretty good, but it's fine. We can figure it out. So I'm gonna make a couple of notes during the game, and afterwards we can have a look at the replay and talk about them. So yeah, do you have any questions at all?
Not really. Not, at least not now.
Okay, cool. Feel free to just pause the game, by the way, whenever you want, if you have any questions, like during the game, because obviously it's custom, so we can just pause whenever. Let's do it. Overgrowth. Can never go wrong with overgrowth, I don't think.
I never get overgrowth in the ranked though, for some reason.
Oh man, I love overgrowth. It always makes for like good games, like pretty much always balanced.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna watch the game through your vision as well. I know nothing more than you, except for the production tab. So I know a couple of things more. That'd actually be a really bad hack if someone has that. There are probably hacks out there actually, like production tab hacks. That'd be awful. So do you usually play 2 base, or do you usually tend to play 3 base? What are you more comfortable with?
I try to go 3 base, but I tend to forget it.
Okay.
And make it really late.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem.
So.
Most of the time, what's most important, especially like up to like Gold League, is to really get that macro under control before really starting to take third bases. Third bases are really good, obviously, and you're gonna need it in like the higher leagues, but most of the time just having solid macro and just actually spending your money and making drones at a good timing it's probably gonna help you out more than actually controlling the third base, right? So yeah. Do you use these standard hotkeys or like the grid hotkeys, or?
I'm using the standard, I think.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's like 1 SD, something like that. Cool. Boom. What kind of way do you use for crane injects? Do you have like one given way, or do you try different techniques?
I'm just tabbing through the bases and manually targeting the queens. Probably the hardest way, but
yeah, it's not the easiest one, but it can work fine.
That's what I'm doing.
No problem. A lot of Koreans use that strategy actually, where they just use like either the camera hotkeys or they just switch bases really quickly. So. I don't understand. There's like Terran music in the background, man. I must be going crazy here. I'm pretty sure this is Terran music. See, if I was playing Terran, I would probably actually use the background music in StarCraft. Like, it's actually good. Do you ever play with like people on Skype by any chance, or?
Yeah, I tend to sometimes play against a friend of mine.
Okay, yeah. Before I like distract the crazy like out of you, if you always play by yourself, you're like, okay, shut the fuck up. So do you use a similar build in all matchups, or do you generally?
I tend to go a lot of the same builds.
Okay, cool. You got a whole lot of drones, by the way, at your natural, just chilling.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't target the base for some reason.
No worries. So when do you usually move out? Do you like
I forgot the Evo chamber,
Mm-hmm.
which I tend to do a lot.
Okay, yeah, no worries. No worries.
And usually on +1/+1,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be kind of late this time.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's one of the things I wrote down. Oh. Run.
Should I be going 2 Evo chambers or 1? Which one?
Generally, it kind of depends on like what kind of a build order you want to go for. I generally, whenever I play these sort of strategies of 2 bases, I go for 2.
Okay.
We can go over that in a little bit though. I think it's mostly like gonna be part of like the build order that's very important to hit. Your queen injects are super good, by the way, for like Silver League. Like I've seen people that literally don't even queen inject in Silver League at all. Like your queen in a natural literally doesn't even have energy. Those injects are better than mine regularly, so that's very nice. You've actually been out macroing pretty heavy in this game. I think you can even do it more now. Oh god, that A move.
What's the fuck?
Sweet mother of macro strikes again. Sweet. Okay, well, man. Well done. Okay. No, that was actually very well played all round. I mean, there's a couple of things I would definitely be working on. But all in all, that was actually a solid game right there. Yeah, so let's have a look at the replay. Is that usually how your games go, or would you say that's like an accurate game?
Well, not that many. I was faster on the roaches this time around.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the general idea of your build was actually really good. There's just a couple of things I would change around if I were you. Well, let me close my door. Alright. So the first thing I really liked was the focus on macro, and not so much on scouting.
Okay.
The one thing that's always very, very confusing in like a lower leagues especially is if you're gonna start scouting really heavily, because the builds of your opponents generally don't make sense, right? So it's hard to scout anything if you don't really, if your opponent doesn't really know what he's doing either. So generally it's not very useful to put the emphasis on scouting. So I did like the way you positioned your overlord to get some map vision and to potentially scout if it's necessary. But I liked how you prioritized macro over scouting. It's very good. Besides that, very nice queen injects as well. I mean, you barely missed any until like a little bit later into the game.
Yeah.
But in the early part of the game, you literally missed none. The one thing though that was a bit wonky, I think, was mostly the build order. So, do you know what a timing attack is, by the way?
Come on.
Do you know what a timing attack is?
Yeah, when you get the attack when you get some upgrades.
Yeah.
It's
So generally what you try and do is like have a few upgrades line up at the exact same moment, right?
yeah,
And that's kind of the one thing that I was missing a little bit. Like, the one thing that I think you could be working on mostly is going to be knowing when you can actually attack and making sure that you always attack at a point that you have a couple of upgrades finishing up. So most of the time when you play roaches, there will be things like roach speed finishing up and +1 attack. Or roach speed finishing up and +1/+1. So generally, like, if you're going to play a roach build, there's really no reason to not go for these kind of timings, because it just, usually allows your opponent to just be, overrun.
okay.
So I guess that's what we're gonna be working on mostly. Like, the general idea of the build, though, was definitely, like, the exact same way as it should be. I would just change the build up a little bit and make it therefore a lot more efficient. Now, the nice thing about this build, like you said as well, like, you can execute it in every single matchup. So you don't really need to, you don't really need to worry about different builds in every single match, right? So this is the early part of the game. You asked, by the way, about the evolution chambers. So generally what you do, if you play a standard timing attack, you either go for 1 or 2 upgrades. It doesn't really matter a whole lot, because if you go for 1 upgrade, you will have a couple more roaches. And if you go for 2 upgrades, you have a couple less, but they're a little bit stronger, right? It really doesn't matter all that much. Unless you're gonna play like early Zerging speed in the start of the game, then it's gonna be a bit expensive to also get the armor upgrade later on. But most of the time, either 1 or 2 is good. Now, one thing though to keep in mind is that if you play a roach style, like with roaches mainly off of 2 bases, if you're gonna go for 1 upgrade, you're gonna need 3 gases in total, okay? So if you want to produce non-stop roaches, and you have 1 evolution chamber upgrading, you're gonna need 3 gas in total. And if you're gonna use 2 evolution chambers, you're gonna have to have 2 gas in total.
Okay.
So that's just a little bit of a nice number, because the gas guys just came down, like the first 2 came down at a pretty good timing. But then the third and the fourth one were a little bit random, I guess, when you were like, oh shit, I got 800 minerals, let's throw down more gas.
That kinda happened.
Yeah, so right now you're like, oh shit, I got 800 minerals, what the fuck? For more gas. And that's not really necessary, obviously. So if you get those at a little bit of a different time, it's going to be a lot easier. So we can go over that in a second. And other than that, the actual move out that you managed to do in the end right there, even though it killed your opponent, it's not going to be able to kill your opponent if he's going to be like Platinum League or up. Because it's going to be, that's basically what we're working for, right? Like to actually get like Platinum League. It won't really be working if he goes for a super standard build himself. Let's say he just plays normal like robotic style. What would happen is 11.5 minutes, the first Colossus would be out. So that would be right now. And, around the time that you actually hit him, he would have had like 2 or 3 Colossus out. And it would have been pretty much impossible to kill him. So even though it ended up working in this game, I'm not saying it was bad or anything. I would just push a bit earlier, so you know for a fact you will be able to kill them most of the time. So yeah, do you have any questions about the game at all, or is it pretty clear?
I think it's pretty clear now.
Okay, cool. So usually what's the easiest thing to do is just practice this build without actually having an opponent out. So what we can do is actually just go into a custom game and just not add an opponent and just practice the build. And then later on, after practicing it maybe once or twice, we can actually try it out against an opponent and go from there. Is that cool?
Sure.
So do you want me to show you the build once, or do you just want me to talk you through it? It's one of the two.
Yeah, I guess you can talk me through it.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna try and do is just play the exact same thing. And by the way, I actually didn't check it right there. Wait, I'm gonna have to check it once more. I wanted to check out the amount of supply you had right there at the very end of the game.
Oh.
So we can compare it. But basically what we're gonna try and do is do the same build, but then a little bit more optimized, and to make sure we get it all down properly. But I guess that's not gonna be too hard for you because you know exactly like when to make what, and the queen injects are very good as well, and the macro in all in all is really good. So we'll see. But what we're gonna try to do is do a +1/+1 roach speed timing,
Okay.
and you can do that on every single map in every single matchup. So we'll see how it goes. I wish we could just speed through a replay.
Yeah, it would have been so much easier.
Remember, do you remember the time when they announced this feature where you're allowed to like go forward in a replay and everyone's like so excited, and then it actually came out and the only thing that happened was like ×8. And like
Yeah.
the screen is black. So, so pointless.
Shaking.
Ooh. Okay. So I just want to go to the very point where you move out. Let's go to, let's say, 11 minutes, okay? We're going to compare 11 minutes. So 11 minutes, you are at 110 supply.
Okay.
With no upgrades. So we're going to try and break that and see how far you can go, okay? I think you can up it by like 50. So that'd be like 30 more roaches. Okay, so let's just jump in a custom game and do that build order. So I'm gonna have to put it out of my head. Okay, let's go. Let's just give it a try. Let's make me a referee. So whenever the game loads up, just make sure you hit return to game, so not end the game.
Yeah.
I always make that mistake whenever I'm in. I was like, oh yeah, score screen. It's like, oh shit. It's
Yay,
pointless.
I won.
It looks good on your match history though, so you
Yeah.
get that one going. Sweet. And especially in these sort of games, just pause whenever you feel the need to.
Yeah.
So once again, what we're gonna try and do is move out right when roach speed finishes, okay? And what we're also trying to do is have +1/+1 attack, like +1 attack and +1 armor, finish up at the time as roach speed finishes up.
Okay.
And you know, obviously at that time your units are very, very strong, and most of the time you will be able to overrun them quite easily. So it's very important that when you do this build that you move out exactly when roach speed finishes. Okay, so 9 overload right there, sweet. And once again, just go for a 15 spawning pool. Do you ever play more than 2 queens, or do you generally only play 2?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like one for the natural on main?
Yeah, do you usually put like only queens for queen injects out, or do you also put like other queens out for defense?
Mostly I'll go for just one for each base.
Okay, okay, yeah. So in this, let's try it this time around to add 4 queens, okay? Because we're gonna add the
Okay.
gases a little bit later. Right around 5 minutes, actually, exactly what you did as well. But usually it's a bit safer to just get the queens out as well early, just to get some defense going. And if you feel like really, like your macro is getting really solid, you can use the queens also for creep spread and whatnot. But let's not focus on that for now. Okay, want to make another overlord?
So
And then a
going
queen.
double gas on 5-minute mark.
Yep, yep, exactly. So I want to start a queen right now, and as well as a set of zerglings, and just like park the set of zerglings at the watchtower, just for, you know, idea. Okay, cool. And then go straight back into droning. Cool. Okay, cool. So whenever a larva is available, just try and make it into a drone instantly. We'll start a second queen as well. and then an Overlord. Now basically what we're trying to do is get 4 queens out as soon as possible. So just walk this one to the natural, exactly. Make an Overlord right there, cool. And just try and squeeze out 4 queens in the early part of the game. With 3 in the natural and then 1 in the main base. Cool. Okay, wanna go straight back into injecting. Boom.
Nope, I already.
Go back. Okay. Another queen in the main.
2 queens in the main.
Yep. And just walk this one down to the natural as well. Cool. And then double gas geyser. Okay. 2 overlords and then back into droning.
Oh.
Or just 1 overlord works as well.
Yeah,
Or go back into droning.
I made...
Yeah, I see. Cool. So don't worry too much about crease threat. Just focus on the queen injects as much as possible. Sweet. Okay. Drone, drone, drone. Oh, it's almost finishing. Almost. Cool. So from here on out, you want to start having 2 overloads at a time. So put the drones in the gas geyser. Okay, queen inject. Cool, and drones. 2 overloads as well, by the way. Sorry. Cool. And I'm back into droning. So, once you hit 100 gas, we're gonna build a couple of things at once, okay? So you want to start a lair. Double evolution chamber at the front. As well as a roach warren at the front. More gas, and then 2 more gas geysers. Okay, cool. And then straight back into droning, so try and get that money down instantly. Cool, well done. Okay, that actually went quite well. Okay, so from here on out, you only want to make drones until you're max saturated. So just drone, 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 drone. The reason why you put them at the front, by the way, is to make sure they obviously form a little bit of a wall off. Oh, there's actually a couple of drones just chilling. Yep. Cool.
I'm worried about targeting with the base or not.
No worries. Okay, I want to start +1/+1. So roach armor and roach speed, or roach armor and roach attack. And then a whole lot of drones again, and then roach speed. Okay, want to make a couple more drones, like 6 more in the natural. Cool, and then make a couple of overlords, like 3 or so. And then you want to start making roaches. Now, if you take a look at the front of your natural, these upgrades will pretty much all finish right around the same time, okay? Actually, they should be timed slightly differently, but it doesn't really matter all that much. So if you're gonna move out right when roach speed finishes, which is gonna be a little bit, what will happen is that as soon as you get to the other side of the map, +1/+1 will be done as well. So just make non-stop roaches right now, as well as overloads, obviously. Cool. Do you ever add the units into a control group right when you make them, or?
I just send them to the front and wait
Okay.
until
Okay.
desirable.
That might be something we want to try as well later on, but cool. Do you use the F2 key to get all your army?
Not always. I tend to try to not use it, but it's a weird habit.
Okay, yeah, no worries. Okay. So whenever you do this, just make sure you put your rally point on the other side of the map. Okay, let's grab all your army and just attack move to watch his natural. Okay, so as comparison, you're basically like about a minute and a half earlier for the same amount of supply, right? If we ignore the supply blocks. Yeah, you would be literally like about a minute and a half earlier at the same amount of supply, and that's actually huge because this minute will be your biggest production minute, right? So I think you can get like 30 or 40 supply up compared to the previous one. So right now +1/+1 is done, and you hit a roach speed +1/+1 timing attack, right? So all in all, the build is really easy, but it's a lot stronger than what you were doing in the previous game, okay? Yeah, do you have any questions about it all, or does it make sense?
I guess it makes sense.
Okay, cool. So what you could follow this up with is like +2/+2 and a third base or something like that, or a macro hatchery, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I think if you do this properly every single game, especially in like Silver and Gold League, I don't think there's a single time you're going to be losing, okay? The one thing though you really need to keep in mind is that even if your opponent has, let's say, like Void Rays out at this point, you still need to move across the map.
Okay.
That is the one thing that you got to keep in mind, that you always need to move across the map. Because let's say if he has Void Rays out right now, obviously your roaches can't kill him, but you can just overrun him. If he gets roaches or Void Rays out this early, there's no way they're gonna stop you to actually winning it. So as long as you do this build properly, you will pretty much be guaranteed to win. Now the one thing though that's kind of important, that obviously early on you don't really have any defense, right, except for the queens. So most of the time what you're doing in Natural, if you want to take a look at your Natural, if you position these Evo chambers and the Roach Warren, so they actually don't have 2 holes in them like that, what you can do is put your queen in there and put them on hold position. So if you take the 2 queens that were extra, exactly, you would usually put them right there. If you put them on hold position, nothing will be able to run by.
Okay.
And you could even like make a spine crawler if you want to be really safe. I do this build all the time in ZVZ myself, and it generally actually works really well. At some point people will start holding it, however. At that point you will need to start transitioning towards third bases, but I think for now this should definitely be plenty.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people in the chat as well that say like, okay, this build got me to platinum easily. Sweet. So yeah, you ready to try it first, a real person?
Sure.
Cool. Now keep in mind, the person that you're going to be playing knows exactly what you're doing, right? I'll actually write down the build as well for you, so I will post it on Skype so you can have a look at it. So add evos +1/+1. Add lair. Roach speed. Mass roach. Move out. Okay. There we go. Now that's just for later references. But yeah, that's just a general idea of the build, right? If you want to take a look at it after coaching.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I got someone who says he's just the right skill level for you. He has master finishes.
Oh.
He's not the right skill level. Okay, this guy is a silver Protoss, is what he says. Let's give it a try. Wanna try Overgrowth again, just for argument's sake?
Sure.
Cool. So it's gonna take a couple of games before you actually manage to do the build like really well. But once you manage to nail it down, and like at some point you don't really need to think about the build anymore. So if you do this thing like, maybe it takes like 10 times, maybe it takes like 3 times, and maybe it takes like 15 times, I don't know. But at some point you don't really need to think about the build anymore. And that is really the moment where you can easily start improving like really fast. Because after the point where you... Oh fuck. After the point where you manage to, you know, not think about the build anymore, you can start thinking about other things such as like scouting and taking map control and whatnot, and you can just streamline the build really easily. Whereas right now you're obviously going to be like, okay, need to focus on the build order, need to do this, need to do that.
Yeah.
So that's just for future references. Anyway, you ready?
Yep.
Cool. See if Red Rain is also ready. Cool. So he knows exactly what you're gonna do. Which is the tricky business. He's probably gonna like forge whatever, like forge attach, forge cannon rush.
I hope not.
Nah. You're not too nervous by the fact that other people are watching you?
Not really. I don't have much of a stage fright.
Okay, that's cool. I've coached a lot of people that get absolutely crazy, and the viewers are kind of high today, so... kind of funny. Your accent is the exact same as Snoot. people already talked about. Oh, Loko's coaching Snoot.
Well, every Norwegian guy has the same accent.
I can imagine.
Like,
That's awesome.
even though if someone is Norwegian, they're judging by their accent.
I can imagine. It's the same with Dutch mostly though. I guess my accent is just all over the place, but. Oh yeah! Thank you for subscribing. Jeez, someone just subscribed and it scared the fuck out of me. Thank you very much, Naro HD, for hitting that sub button, dude. Welcome to the LowkoTV family. That was scary, dude. You scared me. Anyways, thank you all. Thank you very much. Okay. So just do the exact same build order. I will talk you through it, obviously, but I guess you know the early part, right? With the 15 pool, 15 hatch. There we go. I didn't even know you could actually rally the 15 drone and it line up perfectly. I didn't even know that. That's nice. Oh, just shoo him away. Boom, hatch. Quick, 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 quick. He's not looking, he's not looking. Ah, he's looking. Okay, just make an overlord. And make like 2 sets of Zerglings once the spawning pool finishes, and then just take the natural a little bit later. Maybe he's gonna cancel it, we'll see. Okay, nope. Let's make 2 sets of Zerglings and a queen. I would actually just keep attacking the pylon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just go back into droning. Now this is mostly gonna mess with the amount of minerals you have and the queen timings, which isn't the worst. But just keep in mind you're probably gonna start getting a little bit too many minerals. So what you might consider is getting like a macro hatchery up, or if you feel really greedy to have like an extra 3rd base to get some extra larvae going later, but for now it's fine. Just queue up another queen and another overlord. Cool. Straight back into droning, and let's do a little bit of scouting with the Zerglings. So you still want to go for the 15-minute, or if, what is it, 5-minute double gas geyser.
Yeah.
And what is that? It's a salad, okay. Another queen. And drones. Want to start the double gas geyser. And probably also start moving towards the natural, so that queen can also go towards the natural. Sweet. Okay, want to start the double, or want to start the drones. This was like 2 overlords. Should have said that earlier. Okay, queen inject. And you want to start 1 more queen. I would actually start it in the natural. It's a bit easier. Probably also want to lay down a creep tumor, because we won't really be able to wall off as well. Cool. Okay, queen inject. Boom, nice. Okay, I want to start a lair. Double Evo. A Roach Warren. And then let's delay the gases a little tiny bit, because the build obviously was a bit delayed. Okay, Roach Warren. And just try and spend these larvae right away. Larvae are available for a really long time. Okay. Queen inject, the main base. And you want to start double gases in the natural right now as well. Okay, I want to start +1/+1. Another gas geyser and more drones. Cool. I want to start roach speed, almost. There we go, boom. And more drones. Now the time that larvae are available is a bit too long, so you really want to try and get that down to, you know, the point where they're basically only available for like a couple of seconds. Okay, we need about 5 more drones.
Overlords.
Cool. Okay, so make like 3 more overlords. I would actually make just a couple more because we're gonna make roaches anyway. They require a lot. Okay, and then just start making a lot of roaches. Oh, don't want to move the queen to the natural though.
What you doing?
Okay, just try and get as many roaches out as possible. Okay, roach. Now roach speed is about to finish, so we gotta move very soon. See how much earlier this is than like your first attack?
Yeah.
So much earlier. Okay, so let's just grab all our shit and go. And put the rally point of your hatcheries. Oh well, put the rally point of your hatcheries at his natural. So queen inject. Almost. Boom. Okay, queen inject right there. Nice. And roach. Okay, and just attack move towards his natural. Oh, he's actually following you right now. You might want to throw an attack move right there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, queen inject. Almost. It's better to check constantly than to not make him. Queen inject. And attack move. Boom, boom. Okay, do that micro you just did. Okay, good. Okay, just attack move right here. Just attack move, I wouldn't micro too much. Yeah. Okay, queen inject. Oh. Nice response right there with the queens. And you win, easy. Okay, you're Gold League. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, he's gonna be a bit annoying, but there's no way he's gonna stop this. Oh, you might be killing a lot of drones right now, though, in the main. Gotta always keep an eye out for that, but... the one thing I would try and do if I were you, though, is not over micro your units. Like, oftentimes they're kind of like wasting a lot of time and attack. But yeah, that's it, man. Well done. He's just being annoying. He doesn't want to leave. Oh, come on. He has literally pylons scattered all over the map. Red Brain OP is using his 1 minute of fame, but there we go. Well done, man. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, there's obvious little tiny improvements we can look at here, okay? But all in all, like, the general outline of the build and, like, the build order, does that make sense? Or is there something you'd like me to explain? Okay. Because honestly, like, that didn't already look like Silver League anymore. That looked a lot better. I think this build should be working up until, like, Platinum League at least. And in Platinum, you should start deviating a little bit depending on, like, the matchup and, like, the map and whatnot. But I think in Silver and Gold League, you can try and do this build pretty much as often as possible. Maybe there's a couple of maps where it won't be as nice. Maybe such as, like, King Sejong, you know, where you have, like, the longest rush distance. But for the most part, you can try and do this pretty much all the time.
Okay.
Okay, let's just have a quick look at the replay. I have another player as well. That wants to play against you, who is apparently a silver player. So let's have a quick look at the replay and talk about the things that you probably want to give a try. I guess the one main thing I think is, I think the main thing that could be better is like speed, okay? So when you think about it, like a drone mines for about a mineral a second, okay? Give or take a little bit. And oftentimes larvae were just lying there for, you know, like 5 or so seconds. Let's say you have 10 larvae lying around for 5 seconds. That is literally right around, how much is that? That'd be like 50 minerals or something? I don't know exactly. But you basically waste a lot of minerals and a lot of time by not making the drones right away. And it might sound a bit silly, but it just adds up really quickly, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you just try it and minimize the amount of time that larvae are available. So as soon as the queen inject pops off, you inject with the queen again, and you instantly hold down 4, and then you can actually hold down the button. If you do it like that, I'm pretty sure the build order will work out a little bit nicer. You're probably going to be able to do even more supply than you were able to right there. And that is kind of the main thing. Let me actually go to the point where 2 queens are injecting, and there's a couple of things that we need to do at once. I think it's right around here, so. But I think like most of the time you were injecting right there, the larvae were available for a bit too long. And it just adds up really quickly. It's not really necessary, right? So if you try and do that a bit faster, and just hit the queen injects again, spend all the larvae, and then go back into whatever you were doing. Like for example, right here at the natural right now. So these larvae are available. I don't know if you spend those instantly, but there's just a couple of seconds where they are just lying around. And just lying around, you know, like it just adds up really quickly. But I guess it just comes with practice though, so there's just a couple more times. But let's just try this build order once more, and do the exact same thing. Just try and just try and minimize the downtime larvae are available. So as soon as something is available, queen inject, spend larvae, back to whatever you need to do.
Okay.
And let's just not really focus too much on scouting yet. We can do that at some later point. Okay.
Should I spend the larva and then queen injects, or the other way around?
First queen injects and then spend the larva.
Okay.
So usually what you do is you hit the queen injects, you make like 2 overlords, or however many overlords you need, and then you spend the rest of the larva. So it'd be like 5 queen inject, or actually, I don't know your hotkeys. I think it's like 2 queen inject, 1 select all hatcheries, make 2 overlords, 1 make a lot of drones.
Okay.
Yeah, if you hear that on my roof, that is that's rain.
Oh.
I don't know if you can if you can hear that or not.
No.
Oh, that's cool. Sweet. Who was gonna fight? Oh, this one. Brian. Brian says he's a real silver player, whatever that means. He is actually a silver player, and he's a Protoss player. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's hope Brian responds.
Losing his chance to be famous.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
It's 20 minutes of fame. Okay, overgrowth again? Or...
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You ready, sir?
Yes.
Almost. First mistake though is that you pick red. It's not.
Yeah.
Man. It's too bad. Oh my. What the fuck? I just got random rain on my arm. I don't understand. Hold on. It doesn't make sense. It's been sunny all day and all of a sudden it's like raining.
I know the feel.
Yeah. Damn it, Northern Europe. Cool. So just usually the easiest way to make sure that the downtime is as little as possible is to just go 1S D and just hold down D.
Yeah.
So right now it would be 1S W, I think the overload key is. I don't know.
V.
Oh, okay. Well,
Almost.
I don't use the standard hotkeys. It's kind of funny. Like whenever sometimes people ask like, what is the hotkey to morph a baneling, and I'm like, I have no idea. Like when I'm playing the game, I will know what the hotkey to morph a bane is, but half the time, man, I'm like, no, I don't actually know. Sweet. Boom. Okay, 200 minerals, move on down. So just try and tighten out everything up a little bit. Okay, want to make an overlord? And then hold down the button for a queen. Just start the queen right away. I think it's Q. Perfect. And one set of Zerglings. Okay, and just move those across the map whenever you can. And straight back into droning. So try and minimize the downtime that larvae are available right now. Sweet. Now what you probably notice is that minerals are going to start piling up quite quickly. Just for the slight little difference, but just you'll notice it. Okay.
And make another queen.
Yes, 4 queens as soon as possible. Okay, boom. Want to make an overlord as well? Sorry, forgot to mention that. Okay, and another queen in your natural as well. Okay, larva. You don't actually need to re-rally the main just yet. You can actually wait a little bit until you start the double gases. Ui, that sucks. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. Queen injects, boom. Queen injects in the main. Boom, one more queen in the main as well. And then 2 more overlords. 2 more overlords and then double gas geysers. Good. Nice. Okay. Even finding the time for the creep tumors. Nice. So what you if you find like a little bit of downtime like this, feel free to just put the drones in the gas already. Okay, if you have nothing better to do than that, queen inject, boom, and then put the drones in gas. Queen inject the main, boom. Okay, so right now you want to rally everything to the natural. Nice, a lot better, man. Very nice.
Progress.
Wow, I'm looking at the production tab and he's literally hard countering you without knowing what you're doing. He's definitely watching the stream. That's okay though. Okay, want to start a lair? Want to start double Evo, and you want to start a Roach Warren. As well, 2 more gas. So this time around, instead of having 10 drones on minerals in the natural, you actually have 17 right there. And that's a huge difference, okay? Just want to point it out. Okay, I want to start a ton of more drones. And you want to start like 2 overlords. Cool. Okay, I want to start +1/+1. And I would also put all my queens on a hotkey, by the way, just in case. It's a lot easier to defend if you have all your queens together already. Cool. Like 4 more drones for the natural. Yep, cool. And you want to start the roach speed. They want to start non-stop roach production. Cool. So as far as the build order goes, this is very, very well done. Okay. Want to start a couple more overlords. He's literally hard countering you on the production tab.
This is gonna be fine.
Okay, roach speed about halfway done. Sweet. Dude, like, just for argument's sake, okay? Normally, the build that your opponent is going for is absolutely impossible. Like, this is actually not possible, but we can figure out if your timing attack will still work. Basically, what he goes for is a double Stargate into a third base. That is not a build that will ever work. But yeah. Okay, so just grab all your roaches and go. Boom, boom, boom. I would actually go towards the natural. You don't actually know he has a third, and it's the other third. Okay, put your rally point right there. At his natural, yep. Okay, queen inject. And attack move. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
That is so stupid. He is literally hard countering you from what now without knowing anything. Okay.
We're up a space.
Yeah. That is pointless though. It's a kind of a useless game right here because you know, you can't, like, this will never happen on the ladder, right? Like, that's just not a thing that will happen. Where you go for third base and then make only Stargate units.
I actually met a Protoss who went full death race.
Yeah, if you manage to see it earlier, what you could do instead of going for Roaches is just go for Hydras and do the exact same build. But this guy literally just took a third base super early and then started making only Void Rays, right? Like, that is not something that will actually like happen in like real games.
I guess I should start going for a third.
Yeah, at this point the game is pretty much over though. I mean,
yeah.
It's probably best to just GG out of it, but for practice sake though, I think this was by far your best execution of the build so far. But yeah, he's obviously watching the stream, he knows exactly what you're doing, so it's not too surprising that he decided to hard counter you, making only Void Rays.
Oh well.
Oh well, it's okay. So, yeah, do you have any questions about the build at all, or is it okay? Do you have any questions about like transitions or anything in general?
Yeah, if the push, if I end up losing the push, what should I do then? Just go to a third base and
yeah, so
just go more roaches or.
So usually, if you want to do this at a higher level, what you do is the exact same build like you did just now, but then while you're actually getting your roach speed, if you do the build perfectly, you start piling up a lot of minerals at first, before this like the third and the fourth gas guys are kicking. So most of the time, while you're waiting for Roach B to finish, you take the third base. You take the third. What I would do if I were you is right when you move out. So you move across the map with your roaches. That is the time when you make a third base. So when you move out, make the third. And then the other transition would be getting the +2/+2, as well as Hydras if you really want to. But honestly, like if you feel like your micro is not your strongest point, you can just stay on roaches as well. But I think you should be fine playing some Hydras as well as a follow-up. So I will write it down as well on Skype actually as a follow-up. +2/+2 is the most important thing. Third base, and then Roach Hydra.
Okay.
But honestly, like I don't think it would happen too often. I mean, how often do you meet a player on the ladder that is going pure Void Ray after making a third base without scouting anything? Do you ever see that?
I met one.
You met one. Okay. Well,
Yeah, but it's on the one.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's hard to give you like a solid advice on that because obviously like he's just hard countering because he knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
What else? What I want to say? Oh yeah, obviously the one thing you can start doing a bit more of once you actually feel more comfortable is scouting around a little bit. So what I would mean with scouting is just positioning your overlords in different positions. So one would be at his natural, one with his main, and one at the third. And then having Zerglings in the middle of the map as well at the watchtower. So that will be things you do once you actually feel really comfortable with the build.
Okay.
But for now, I would really focus on the build order. Just practice this maybe like 5 or 10 times or something, and then just give it a try on a ladder. And if you could then let me know how it goes, because I'm actually really curious how it'll go. I think if you execute it like this, there's absolutely no way you're gonna be like Gold League. Or Silver League, like there's no way. I think you would get promoted really, really quickly. Because the execution right here was really, really well done. He just hard counted you without knowing anything, right?
Oh.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions at all?
Not really.
Okay, cool. If you do, just let me know on Skype. You got me on Skype, obviously.
Yeah.
So let me know how it goes and let me know if you have any questions, and also if you have any replays that you really want me to take a look at. Feel free to just send them to me as well. I'll try and look at them ASAP. And just sell me, sorry? Oh no, I thought you said something. Yeah, just send them to me either by email or just send them on Skype. If you want me to take a look at them. Yeah, if you have no questions, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, man. Are you okay with me uploading this on YouTube?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Okay, man. Thank you very much. I hope it helped, and let me know how it goes.
Sure.
Later, man.
See ya.
Hey guys, Lowko here, and if you made it all the way to this point in the video, at the very least make sure you hit that like button below, as it helps me out quite a little bit. Now I'm going to be uploading more and more StarCraft 2 coaching content as well, so if you are interested in that, which I know you are if you already made it all the way over here, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you will get a notification as soon as I upload the next coaching session. Other than that, I wanted to thank you for watching, have an amazing day, do not forget to smile, and I will see you again in the next video.